July 27th, 1941. When you attack a numerically superior enemy, you catch him by surprise, you surround and annihilate a big chunk of his armies, but instead of surrendering, he simply falls back. He destroys all critical infrastructures that could be useful to sustain your advance, and he keeps reinforcing his divisions with fresh men and guns. What do you do? Well, if you are von Rundstedt, the Commander-in-Chief of Army Group South, you only have one option. To attack, and to keep attacking until your men are almost completely exhausted. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the last episode of this new turn and new week in War in the East 2. So concerning Army Group South, if you remember the frustration that I had when I realized that the FPD-3 was like just 2 hexes short from reaching and repairing the railway up to Smolensk, you can only imagine how frustrated I felt when I saw that the FPD-1 only was like reached literally 1 hex before Kiev. I was like pissed at myself because I was like, maybe I miscalculated the advance or anything, but no, I mean, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I was again very frustrated by seeing this, and because I really wanted to use Kiev as a kind of supply hub to supply both the 6th Army and the 1st Panzer Group. But this again frustrated all of my plans. And also one thing that frustrated my plans was the lack of air recon in the sector of the 6th Army. Because yes, sure, I was like, okay, the 1st Panzer Group has plenty of units around it, around the Pripyat, while I knew nothing about the 6th Army. And honestly, I was a bit surprised to see that the Red Army did not even try to stop the movement and the advance of the 6th Army. And interestingly, this actually allowed me this week to keep some units away from the front line and to, you know, just let them rest and refit, and most importantly, to recover some CVPs. Because yes, I said that my men were now exhausted. I don't mean they are exhausted in terms of fatigue, but they are exhausted in terms of CVPs. Like they've been marching since, I would say, since the first week, especially the men of the 17th Army and the divisions that arrived over the 2nd and the 3rd week as reinforcements. Like they've been marching non-stop. They kept advancing and they never had a chance to rest, and that's why, in my opinion, I wanted to take a break, to let my men rest for ideally a couple of weeks, to just let them regain some CVPs. But I was like, no, I cannot do it because again, Army Group South is getting overstretched, and I didn't have enough infantry to cover the entire front line. At least the good news is that both the Hungarians, the Slovak, the Germans and the Romanians of the 3rd Army this week managed to almost completely squeeze out the Galician pocket, which allowed me again to redeploy some units eastwards. Importantly, I decided to lower the amount, the amount of support units that the HQs of the 3rd Army had, because my goal was to concentrate all of the Romanian firepower within the Romanian 4th Army. And especially I wanted to include the Romanian engineer battalions and the heavy howitzer regiments, because having isolated Odessa last week, this week, the goal of the 4th Romanian Army was just to get ready, assemble its troops, let them rest, stockpile fuel, ammunition and supplies, and then at some point just attack the fortified city of Odessa. The 11th Army kept advancing into Ukraine at a relatively good speed, while the 17th Army kept, let's say, protecting the right flank of the 1st Panzer Group. I still didn't know what to do with the first Panzer Group, if to, advance, push eastwards, push northwards to link up with Guderian and ideally seal into a cauldron all the Red Army troops stationed between Kiev and the spearheads of Army Group Center and Army Group South. And so I said, okay, fine. I'm gonna rest my panzers this week again, and let them, rest, refit, and regain supplies and CVPs. And with this, I would say again, I called it a week, and yeah, as always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you the best, and this time I hope to see you all again next week.